What's up, OntraPeeps? Today I wanted to drop a quick video to get a conversation started around what you found to be more effective. Standard multi-page forms or progressive forms that live on the same page, but break up the process by showing and hiding elements as a prospect moves through the questions. This subject seems to pop up a lot, most recently from someone named Sarah Noked in the user community. So I wanted to grab some feedback on what you've seen work the best in your business. For some of my clients, we use a single-page progressive form to filter people out during the application process so that their salespeople don't get on the phone with people who can't really afford their service, for example. It looks something like this. So the prospect lands on the application page after opting in on a previous page, perhaps, or even opting in directly on this page. They watch a primer video that gets them pumped up and excited about filling out the form, and the form to the right of the video is the application that leads them through the important questions they want to know in order to qualify them. If they're accepted, quote unquote, then the submit application button is shown along with the call to action. If they're not ready, then they get a message that refers them to a different funnel that's more in line with where they are currently. So I'll show you a little bit how this works. So this is kind of the live page. You saw from the setup there, we had everything just kind of laid out. Here's where they start asking a question. And depending on what their answer is. So if they answer that they're an info publisher, a coach, a consultant, then they go ahead and see the next question. If they are unemployed, well, then of course a message pops up that says they probably aren't a good fit, and then directs them to go check out some of the other products that the person would have for sale potentially. Let's say that they are one of the people that we do work with. And again, we have another qualifying question. If they make less than 5K a month, or if they make between 5 and 10K, well, of course, this person also wants to filter those individuals out because they only want to work with people who are doing 6 figures per year. So let's say that that's the case. Then it asks about the monthly revenue goal. This particular one doesn't have any conditionals assigned to it. This is just kind of more filtering as far as understanding what it is that the business needs might be. And then the last question is, how soon would they like to start? So let's say that they are thinking about something that's a couple months out. Well, then, of course, we have another message that says, actually, we only take people that are ready to go in the next month or so. And if they say that they are ready to go tomorrow if possible, or in the next 30 days, then, of course, then it will ask for their name and email. If this were on a PURL, then, of course, this would already be ready to go. We wouldn't even need to have this. We could also fill this from the URL if we wanted to. So I see a few advantages with each model in respect to the other. So for built-in multi-form or multi-page profiling, you have the advantage that if this were the first thing that they saw, you'd be potentially capturing their contact info on step 1. And since it allows you to contact their progress at different spots in the process, you could hypothetically track where the friction points are in the optimization, which would mean that if you saw that there's a big drop off, maybe in question 2 or 3, well, you could rephrase those or move those further down the funnel in order to get those answers later on and potentially skip them altogether depending on how important they are to your process. The other advantage, of course, is that it works out of the box with both smart forms and on OntraPages forms, as far as I know. Now, as far as single progressive forms, I think that there is an advantage to having it all on the same page, simply because there's 0 weight between each step, which of course we know that everybody's kind of impatient these days. So the faster they can get to it, the better. You could use conditional paths, just like you saw that depending on what their answers are, well then of course it changes what the messaging is to the person. And you can also use it to hide and show additional blocks or elements on an Ontraport page, like you saw during the demo here. And then I can see use cases for both, but I'm curious about whether anyone has had more success with one over the other. So let me know. I'd love to hear some feedback from the trenches, as it were. So let me know in the comments below. Hit that like button if you thought this video was cool, or if you'd like to see more of what's coming out of the lab with Thomas and I. And I look forward to hearing from you guys.